So this has kind of been on my mind. Basically, I have been going through a test as of late, and basically, it's the test is designed to cause me to doubt God. At the end of last year, some doors started opening. I know that it was by God. I know that God was pushing me to a place. Reason being, I assessed the fruit that would come from it, and good things would come from it. Good fruit would come from it. So that was part of the reason how I knew that God was pushing me to a place, right, and giving me a promise of something. So after that, after I started running through those open doors, I started hitting some speed bumps. I started hitting some setbacks, or what seemed like setbacks. But what I can notice in retrospect is that whenever I hit a setback, I kind of had a warning about it. And also, those speed bumps and setbacks have been working something in me, good things in me that I didn't have before, like self-discipline, like learning how to prioritize my time, some very core things about myself that I did not have, those skills I did not have, but they're necessary for this next step, right? So you could do one of two things when you start to encounter what seems like setbacks. You can doubt God and doubt whether or not it was God who actually sent you, or you can use those tests for your benefit and choose to learn and grow from them so that you can effectively do what God has called you to do. I look at Joseph, I look at Abraham. When they were given a promise by God, they didn't choose to doubt God. Joseph in particular, he received the promise that he was going to be a ruler even over his brothers and family. And then what happens after that? He goes into slavery. He's being sold by the very people that he could tell that he was going to be a ruler over, right? So of course that would cause somebody to doubt God. Well, maybe God didn't give me this dream. Maybe it was just a dream, And then once he got in prison, he ended up interpreting dreams for other people, and his interpretation of their dreams came to pass before his own. So he was used as a liaison, if you will, to help someone else's dream to come to pass while his still had not come to pass. So if that doesn't cause you to doubt God, it's like, man, here I am being used to help somebody else, meet their destiny, and here I am in prison, So my point of bringing that up is the fact that if someone can go through that and still not doubt God and still expect to see the promise come to pass, so can we, right? When we go through things, it is not for us to doubt God. It's for us to say, Lord, I don't necessarily see how it's going to happen, but because you said it, I know it's going to happen. And I think that once we get on board with that, we'll see our destiny begin to happen even quicker. I think we can speed up the process, if you will. We can bring that future thing to come to pass a bit quicker when we just go ahead and decide to just believe God. Just as Abraham did, is when God told him that his seed would come through his son Isaac, and then later on, after Isaac is born, before Isaac has children, Abraham is tested to go sacrifice that same son. But because he held on to the promise that he was given before that, he said, okay, you know what, God, if you're telling me to kill him, I know that you can even raise him up. Like even death did not separate him from believing God, right? So I think we should be the same way. Just because tests and trials come, just because difficulties come after you have received a word from God, don't doubt God. Just see that thing through and try God. When I say try God, believe God. Let's just leave it at that. So believe God. If God gave you an assignment, if God gave it to you, he will bring you through it. All right, be blessed.